bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it's so great to have you with us. Topping news, there are mounting concerns as officials continue to investigate the latest oil spill which occurred this past Saturday on Grand Bahama. Today, the Minister of Transport and Aviation traveled to the island to meet with key principals in search of answers. Joan Davis Roll reports.
On Saturday, this latest oil spill could be seen for miles in waters off Pinder's Point, not far from the Borco jetty. It was the third oil spill reported on Grand Bahama in recent times. It resulted in residents expressing concern and the local activists calling for answers.
This is not good, because that means you don't know what to do. You can't eat the fish out of the water or nothing like that, because it might make you sick.
We have to find out who it is and hold them accountable for it. This here is a contamination to the entire community of this area again. Again, this is about the second or third time this has happened in the recent months. And we have to collectively get together to stop this.
Hot on the heels of this latest incident, on Tuesday morning, the Minister of Transport and Aviation, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, traveled to Grand Bahama to meet with key companies. The media was not allowed in the meeting with the minister and officials of the Freeport Harbor. Following the meeting, the minister visited the Bahamas Oil Refinery Company, where she, along with her entourage, met with officials of Borco. The minister then gave an overview of their deliberations.
We met with the Freeport Harbor Company, and we met today with Borco. Both entities were involved. Freeport Harbor, one incident, Borco, potentially two incidents. So we want to sit with them, with some of our technical people, to share what we understand the facts to be from our investigation. They've agreed to share with us the emergency management plans, and then to ensure a larger coordination with the national body, because it's not just a closed shop dealing with industry. It's a much larger picture, because the waters of our country belong to the people of this country, and so we have to protect it. And while we welcome industry, we want to make sure there's a balance and that we protect our waters.
The minister was asked about the safety and well-being of persons at the core of these oil spills, residents.
Minister, we, as a news team, we were out there on Saturday when that oil slick was on the waters. Residents are very concerned about this continuing, and it apparently is becoming a trend. Obviously you're concerned about it, and what pressure can you bring to bear in terms of making sure that this?
Right. The proximity of a Pinder's Point is a major issue. We discussed it upstairs because people live there, and that's where they make their reality. And so it's a very, very serious issue. And as I indicated earlier, we are here to ensure that there are no gaps, and that there is sort of heightened scrutiny of the activities to avoid what happens, any potential spills or any risk factors for the community.
Saturday's oil spill has left more questions than answers. And according to the minister, while Borco as well as the Freeport Harbor conduct investigations, the government is committed to carrying out an independent investigation of their own, the findings of which will become available as soon as possible. For ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis Roll.
Thank you, Joan. Well, Grand Bahama will host international investors to a major economic forum at the Grand Lucine Resort. The two-day conference, which opens tomorrow, is designed to showcase the Bahamas as a place to invest. The government will get the opportunity to articulate its trade and investment priorities and offer a platform for stakeholders to promote the country's advantages in a number of areas like shipping, tourism, business services, the financial sector, agriculture, and manufacturing. Now, the Minister of State for Investments, Kaylis Roll, says the International Investment and Business Forum will pump at least $250,000 into Grand Bahama's economy. The conference is sponsored by the Commonwealth Business Council, the Bahamas Investment Authority, and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Well, Grand Bahama is also preparing to host a major international cultural festival in the summer. Design Caribbean 2013 is intended to showcase artisans in the region who are able to produce uniquely designed, handcrafted, superior quality merchandise for export. But the mega trade show will not only provide opportunities for Bahamians, it is also expected to deliver an economic boost for the island. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Immigration, Fred Mitchell, pledged his ministry's support to help make this event a success.
doubly attractive to me because first it's Grand Bahama and Freeport, a place which I love. I've lived here, and we're just making sure we want to work very hard as a government to make sure that the place succeeds. This is very much the future of the Bahamas, and if this city does not succeed, the Bahamas won't succeed. And so we have to make sure it succeeds, and this is another step in trying to do that.
Well, Minister Mitchell believes this cultural event is significant for the Bahamas and should highlight the country as a key player in the region.
I think that we have, as a country, missed the opportunity in the last years to really take a leadership role in the region. And Ryan Pinder in the trade area has really led the charge on our way back to our full commitment to CARICOM. Absolutely. And I think that that's good for our country to let our voice be in a leadership position in the region and to also advance the interests of the Bahamas through the chorus of voices in our region.
Now, Design Caribbean 2013 will be held June 20th through the 23rd at the Grand Lucine Resort. Meantime, police on Grand Bahama investigating circumstances surrounding a house fire near the Texaco gas station in the Southern District late last night. That left one person dead. Inspector Teresita Pinder gives further details.
Shortly after 8 p.m., police received information that there was a structural fire here in the Lewis Yard area. Officers from the fire department responded and met a small structure on fire. The officers from the fire department extinguished the fire, and upon further inspection of the dwelling place, they observed or found the charred remains of a human body. At this point in time, the police are intensely investigating this matter.
Now, the cause of the fire is not known at this time. However, police are actively investigating. The Royal Bahamas Police Force is coming under attack. A young man is accusing police of taking him off his job on a false warrant. He says he has since lost his job and is unable to find new employment. The young man says he believes he's being targeted and is asking the authorities to step in.
The mistake they make caused me lose my job.
Adrian Cooper says because of Grand Bahama's ailing economy, he was forced to relocate to Exuma. While there, he found a job as a security officer and was able to save his earnings and to live comfortably.
That's going to work 7 days a week, 6 days a week, only working 12 hours a day. I had to pay the rent from work home, I always work on time, and how I lose my job, the company, they was mad, like, why? Because I was one of the best workers, you see, they saying they'll miss a day, even when they off. They call me and they come to work, you know what I mean? It was always reliable.
But the young man says his life changed dramatically when he was falsely arrested by police officers while on the job.
They showed me 6 papers. When they showed me the 6 papers, the officer, like, he was harsh. Like, he pushed me to the wall, like, try to put on handcuff for me, you see? But I was like, officer, what are they arrested for, you know what I mean? So they sit me down in the office just like this and show me the paper, say, yeah, 3 warrants are committed for traffic tickets and 3 outstanding warrants. I say, officer, what is a warrant committed? He say, a warrant committed is the court order, wherever they see you, you go straight to Fox Hill Prison.
The young man admits that he did have a traffic matter in court. However, he was given an adjournment date of March 2013 by a Grand Bahama magistrate, Helen Jones. Cooper says he felt like a criminal as he was taken to jail in the nation's capital for many days.
When I reached by the Fox Hill Prison by the gate, the prison officer say they can't accept Adrian Cooper because the papers was not stamped from the judge. The papers was Fox from Freeport. We cannot accept this man in here because he had to get lost. The judge don't have no history in here. The best thing for you all to do is ship this man back to Freeport and let him clarify this up with the judge who we have the warrants in front of, and then we go from there.
Cooper says he was then ordered to pay $450 by the magistrate in Nassau or get sent back to prison. Then he had to find money to take a flight to Grand Bahama to investigate where this bogus arrest warrant came from. But here's where the story gets interesting. He says when he appeared before Magistrate Helen Jones here on Grand Bahama, she told him that an arrest warrant was not issued for him. Now he's in Grand Bahama without a job, behind on his rent, and he doesn't understand why.
You see, just like sitting down and talking you, I get to be in next home working, save my money, and make my money to take care of my little daughter. And then they try and make it look like just forget about it and don't worry about it. But what to do if I was working? That's why I leave Freeport. To see I was in a job, yeah. Now I back here again, you ain't no job, you ain't working, you ain't get nothing to eat, you can't pay rent, you ain't nowhere out. Any little trouble I do the police and looking for the lock up, they send you in jail. That's what they say. I can't collect unemployment benefit. They saying I you know what I mean? I need someone to help me, watching eyes and helping myself and someone to split the stop.
Cooper says this matter has changed his life and has since been told that he cannot receive his job back because of this warrant. He says he has tried to meet with the officer in charge of Grand Bahama on several occasions to clarify the situation so that he can move on with his life, but that has yet to happen. Now, according to Magistrate Helen Jones of Court Number 3, she says her records show that Adrian Cooper had 5 traffic cases, but they were completed from April 2010. He paid the fines and no warrants of committal were typed for those matters. Now, she adds that he has 5 pending traffic cases and 1 criminal in which bench warrants were issued, but they were subsequently canceled. Now, unclear as to how the situation occurred, she says Adrian must deal with the police department to find out why he was arrested and what warrant he was arrested on. Information compiled from the Department of Statistics Household Expenditure Survey will be the lifeline in assisting persons who are living below the poverty line. Tonight, the minister responsible for the Social Services Department shares how a new project called the Conditional Cash Transfer will revolutionize the delivery at that agency and assist struggling families throughout the country. With Grand Bahama's ailing economy, many persons have been forced to turn to the Social Services Department for assistance. While many are ashamed to wait on long lines for help, the department is preparing to revolutionize the way they service the public through a conditional cash transfer. Lillian Kwan Forbes says persons in need of help will be issued a cash card instead of coupons. She says this will not just alleviate long lines at the department, but also preserve the pride of those who are in need.
They can be able to shop at any time versus now when you get that food coupon today, you have to spend that $80 when you go to the supermarket. You're able to then spread it over time. And so it is that we're looking at the different segments in Grand Bahama of persons so that we can get the census of the persons who are actually in need throughout Grand Bahama, and so that should, and the Bahamas, yes, but specific to Grand Bahama today.
The Minister for Social Services, Melanie Griffin, says the $7.5 million loan from the Inter-American Development Bank will aid in the reform of the Social Safety Net program.
It will, preserve the dignity of our clients, as well as it's expected to be able to modify human behavior so that the conditions is based on educational and health. Okay, so we'll have, for example, if you have students who are on the CCT, whose families are on the CCT, and they are experiencing low grades, they will be working in conjunction with education.
She says the program will not just better assist those who are below the poverty line, but also modernize the Department of Social Services.
It'll be computerized and do away with a whole lot of the paper-intensive things that they have to do now. And it will also provide that social workers will be able to devote more time to working directly with the clients. And so I think it's going to be a great program for the entire country.